Hey there, welcome back. It's December now, and honestly, this month is shaping up to be one of the most important ones of the entire year for anyone on Social Security. There are some pretty big changes kicking in, and a couple of surprises that a lot of people don't know about yet. And there's actually one update in particular that might mean more money for some people, but almost no difference at all for others. And the gap between those two groups is bigger than most folks realize. So yeah, keep listening for that part because it can be really confusing unless someone breaks it down clearly. And with prices still high, Medicare costs rising again, and people stretching every dollar as far as possible this time of year, knowing what's changing really does matter. And also, December is one of those months where payments shift around because of the calendar. And there's something unusual happening at the end of the month that throws people off every single year. A lot of people see two payments and think it's a bonus or some kind of special holiday deposit, but nope, it's just the way the system handles holidays. So, we're going to talk about that too. Before we keep going, I want to ask you something simple. What matters more to you right now? Getting your Social Security payment on time or knowing the system is stable for the future? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's talk about the December 2025 payment schedule because this month is a little different than November, and there's something unusual happening on December 31st that always causes confusion. So if you receive SSI, your regular December payment arrives on Monday, December 1st. That's standard. But here's the part that gets everybody talking. Because January 1st is a federal holiday, SSI recipients will actually get their January 2026 payment early on Wednesday, December 31st. And every single year someone posts on Facebook or TikTok saying, extra SSI check this month, or bonus payment, and then thousands of people get confused. But no, that second payment is just January's check coming one day early because of the holiday. It's not extra. It's not something you have to apply for. It's not something you're supposed to report. It's simply the normal January payment moved up. Now, if you receive both Social Security and SSI, or if you started collecting Social Security before May 1997, your December payment date is Wednesday, December 3rd. For everybody else, your date is based on your birthday. So, if your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th, your payment arrives Wednesday, December 10th. If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes Wednesday, December 17th. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and 31st, your payment hits Wednesday, December 24th. Yep, that's Christmas Eve this year, so it might end up helping a lot of families. And usually, if your deposit arrives around midnight Eastern Time, that pattern stays the same, depending on your bank. For Direct Express card users, funds generally load the same day. Now, let's talk about something important that starts this month. December is when SSI recipients see the first payment with a new 2026 cost of living adjustment. Everybody else will see their COLA increase in January, but SSI gets it early because that January check comes on December 31st. So, yeah, you'll notice your benefit shifting this month. Speaking of the COLA, the increase for 2026 is officially set at 2.8%. The average retiree will see about $56 more per month. It's a little higher than last year's increase, and on paper it looks decent. But here's the part one mentioned earlier, the part that catches people by surprise because Medicare Part B premiums are rising again, and they're rising faster than the COLA. For many people, premiums will be $22.90 in 2026, almost a $10 jump from last year. And for a lot of people with smaller checks, the entire COLA increase disappears the moment the Medicare premium is deducted. If someone gets $600 a month, their COLA increase is around $16.80. The Medicare increase wipes out all of it. For some people, the increase actually makes their check feel smaller because the COLA doesn't really show up in their bank account. The hold harmless rule protects many people from having their Social Security reduced by premium increases, but that protection doesn't apply to everyone. New retirees and higher income retirees aren't covered by that rule. So even though benefits are rising, not everyone will feel the difference. I think that's one reason more people have been paying attention to how the entire Social Security system is being managed right now, because it's not just about the monthly check. It's about the whole structure. And speaking of the structure, SSA Commissioner Frank Bignano released his year-end report, and honestly, it shows some major improvements this year. Earlier in the year, the online portal was going offline 29 hours a week. Now it's running 24/7 with far fewer disruptions. Millions of people depend on that website for direct deposit changes, benefit verification letters, and appeals. So having consistent access is a huge improvement. Call wait times dropped too, from around 28 minutes down to about 15 minutes. And about 90% of calls are now being handled through self-service tools or callbacks. And if you've ever been stuck on hold with the SSA, you know that's no small improvement. In-office wait times are lower too, with the average scheduled visitor waiting around 6 minutes. So yeah, after a frustrating year of shutdowns and outdated systems, things are finally running a bit smoother. Another big development is the complete reversal of that controversial disability rule that would have made it harder for older workers to qualify for SSDI. Advocacy groups warned it could have affected hundreds of thousands of workers over the next decade, especially people over 50. Some analysts said as many as 750,000 people might have been impacted. The fear in the disability community was real, but the commissioner confirmed it's not moving forward anymore. Disability advocates called the reversal a huge win, and honestly, heading into December, it's one of the biggest reliefs of the entire year. Now, there's also a new tax rule taking effect that a lot of people still don't know about. Congress approved a new $6,000 senior deduction for people 65 and older. The idea is to help reduce how much of your Social Security gets taxed, but it's not automatic for higher income seniors. It starts phasing out at $75,000 for individuals and $150,000 for couples. For middle-income seniors, though, the savings could be real. Some people might save over $1,000 a year. It depends on your income, your withholdings, and whether you adjust anything for next year's taxes. Now, with all these updates happening, December is also a reminder that long-term Social Security funding is still uncertain. New projections show the trust fund could be depleted by late 2032. If Congress doesn't act, benefits would be cut by about 20% automatically. They wouldn't disappear, but the system would need major changes to stay fully funded. Some lawmakers want to raise the income cap. Some want to raise the retirement age. Some want to change the payroll tax rate. Nobody agrees yet, and time is ticking. Now, let's switch gears for a moment because there's another topic that's been spreading online like wildfire the last few weeks, and that's the idea of a $2,000 stimulus check coming before Christmas. And a lot of people have seen videos claiming the IRS is preparing payments or that banks are already being notified. But here's the truth in plain English. There is no approved $2,000 stimulus check for 2025. Nothing is scheduled. Nothing is being sent before Christmas. The IRS even made statements about it, saying there's no new payment and no new law. President Trump himself said the checks would not be coming this year. He said it would be sometime next year, and maybe not even early next year. He suggested the timing might line up before the 2026 midterms. Another thing people don't realize is the math behind this idea. Tariff revenue for 2025 so far is about $195 billion. A $2,000 check for middle-income Americans would cost around $300 billion. The revenue doesn't fully cover it. Economists have pointed this out, and even Trump supporters admit the math still needs to be sorted out. So, here's the straight answer. The idea isn't dead, but nothing is happening this year. The earliest anything could happen is sometime in 2026, and only if Congress passes a bill. Now, even though the answer isn't what people hoped for, it makes sense why so many people have been asking about it. The holidays are expensive, groceries are up, utilities are up, rent is up, and families are stretched thin. And when you're on a fixed income, especially Social Security, every dollar counts. So people hoping for a check isn't greed, it's just survival. Now, moving on. December is also when the 2026 Social Security COLA letters start arriving. These are the one-page notices that show exactly what your benefit will be in January. They're more important this year because Medicare premiums are rising so quickly. And remember, for many people, these notices are the first chance to see their actual take-home amount after the COLA and after the Medicare deduction. And also, this is a good month to double-check your direct deposit or direct express info just to be sure everything is accurate going into the new year. With staffing issues, office backlogs, and holiday delays, fixing something now is way easier than trying to correct in January. So, yeah, December has a lot of moving pieces, but your payments are still arriving on schedule. The SSA has made some real improvements. The COLA is officially locked in. The disability cutbacks were stopped, and next year comes with some new tax benefits that might help depending on your income. Now, I'm curious, how are you feeling about the future of Social Security going into the new year? Do you feel a little more confident after these updates, or are you still unsure about where the system is heading? Share your thoughts in the comments. It helps this whole community feel supported and connected. If this update helped you make sense of everything, go ahead and hit that like button so more people can find it. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the January update. There are going to be a lot of important changes early next year, and I'll be right here helping you navigate every one of them. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. And I'll